Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2023 and the third part of this series with Newcastle United, or is this the fourth part now? I have lost count. I think it's the fourth part. But we are doing pretty well still. We are now the other side of the World Cup break. Last time out we had an incredible game against Manchester United where we won 9-2, a truly incredible scoreline, followed up with a 3-1 victory at Old Trafford just to really rub it in. That'd be a 12-3 result on aggregate if that was some sort of two-legged tie. And then after that episode we played against Leicester. This was a really, really dicey game. Leicester twice took the lead. They also had a man sent off, and that really changed the game for us. That was just after half time, and it still took some time. But then in the 62nd minute, Alexander Isak got his brace, and then in the 78th minute, we got the winner from Alan Saint-Maximin to get us 3 crucial points just before the World Cup kicked off. The World Cup, by the way, was pretty crazy. I'm trying to remember who won. I think it was like Morocco that won the World Cup. It was a really, really strange result. Let me just have a look. No, Mexico won the World Cup, but they beat Morocco in the final 1-0. Very strange. Very, very strange. But after that, we had a little friendly against Salzburg just to get us back into the swings of it. But it wasn't enough, and in the Carabao Cup fourth round, we were beaten 2-1 by Chelsea, and we were deservedly beaten as well. Don't know why there were only 32,000 fans at St James's Park for a fourth round cup tie against Chelsea at home. That doesn't seem realistic. But we did then play Chelsea again at home, and this time in the Premier League where it really counted, we got a much better result, going 3-0 up in 34 minutes. Ultimately conceding one through Hakim Ziyech, but getting the victory that we needed. And then we went to Ellen Road for a really, really tight game, which we only just squeaked through. Joelinton with the goal in the 9th minute meant that we got the victory we needed. And that means, overall, we're in a pretty fantastic place at the moment. We're going into the 19th game of the season, the halfway point of the season. We've already got 50 points, even if we lose this game. But if we win it, we will move 7 points clear of Liverpool in second place. We're 11 points clear of Man City. We are 17 points clear in the Champions League race. That means that we are genuinely in a title challenge. Alexander Isak, the best player in the league. Kieran Trippier getting the most assists in the league, and Isak just behind Haaland in terms of goals in the league as well. That golden boot really hotting up there at the top. But Isak has been sensational for us so far. All of the players have been really, really good. You can see the squad here doing pretty well. We've had a few players leave, which we need to just quickly catch up on. If we have a look at the transfer history for this season, you'll see Moukoko has joined us for £45 million. He's now in the squad. But in terms of departures, in addition to those that left early in the season, we've now had John Joe Shelvey go to West Ham for £4.5 million. He wasn't really playing, he was injured for a long time. And we've had Chris Wood go to Torino. It's a shame to let him go, but he wanted to leave. And he's gone for about £6 million. Of course, we'll always remember the 4 goals he scored against Manchester United. A very good goal return. And nice to see that he scored on his debut for Torino as well, putting in a very good performance there. So we're in a good place as we go into this top of the table tie away from home against Liverpool. We are also looking at some transfers, as you can see here. This is a backup goalkeeper, a good youth prospect, Boyce Clark, that I'd be bringing in because we're letting Carl Darlow leave. And then we're also going to bring in Eric Garcia. He's going to cost about £25 million. He's a really, really good player, available on the transfer list. Young at 21. He'll be around for a while and add some depth to the centre of defence to compete with Lascelles, to be alongside Botman. And then we're also going to bring in Brereton Diaz for £9 million. Been a wonder kid for a little while. I just think he's quite versatile. He can compete in different areas and hopefully give me some options beyond bringing on Ryan Fraser for our attacking wingers, and also add some depth to the striker position, especially if we do lose Callum Wilson later this season. I'm just having a look. I think I'm fairly happy with what they've put out here. They put out our strongest 11. Matt Targett's a bit of a risk. Botman's not fully fit, but we've got Dan Burn on the bench if we need him. We've got Gabier to come on for Botman as well. Shah is starting in the centre. Lascelles and Macchio both missing out today. Joe Linton not on the bench, probably because he's not quite fit. So, do I want Joe Linton on the bench? I think I would like Joe Linton on the bench, you know. Let's bring him in for Anderson. And I think I'm fairly happy with that. So let's just go for that. Matt Targett being the worry. A couple of players. Garang Kuol, obviously the young player we signed, I think from the Central Coast Mariners there. Very good young prospect worth up to 15 million. So I've thrown him straight into the first team. And obviously Muakoko could come on for his debut today as well. But it is a big game. We need to play the game as it's in front of us. Liverpool have brought in Lazari. They've got Tsimikas there as well. So Robertson on the bench. Alexander Arnold must be injured. Joe Gomez in there as well. Curtis Jones. This is not the strongest Liverpool team, I have to say. We've got some very good players on the bench. They cannot be resting players for this. But we're going to go into this game. We're going to see just how we get on. And this time, I'm going to remember to knock down the speed of the highlights. There we go. Tsimikas with the free kick. It's cleared away. Gomez back in. Matip is there. And he's put Liverpool in front just 2 minutes into the game. A real shame to concede so early. It's poor to do it from a set piece as well, because usually we concede in open play when we do concede. So that's a bit of a freebie there. The ball back in from Gomez was very good, and we just didn't deal with it. We had about 3 chances to deal with that threat and never really got around to it. But we're in a bit of trouble here, and they're going to have another dead ball situation. Tsimikas in, Matip again, and it's come for Luis Diaz who's put it in. He may well have been offside there, because when Matip hit the ball, he looked like he may have been beyond the last defender at the far post, and the goal has indeed been disallowed. So we've been given a reprieve. Trippier now puts it in, our turn, but that's just over the top for us, so it's still 1-0. But free kicks are king today, and Jota there has absolutely smashed that one in. That looked onside to me. I don't think VAR's going to save us this time. And the goal is indeed given. That was lightning quick. Lazari over the top. Salah had Botman on toast. And that first touch pass into Jota, who then slotted it past Pope. And Liverpool just reminding us that if we do want to be title challengers, we've got some strong, strong teams to get past in the way. But we could be about to lose our unbeaten run in the Premier League. We were unbeaten through 18, which is mightily impressive, and it could be about to come crashing down. Jones now out to Lazari, ball across, Trippier's there. Diaz through to Keita, big tackle, it's come for Jota, and off both the crossbar and the post. And then we have a little bit of luck there, but we are not doing well. We've got a corner, Trippier in, cleared away, Isaac back. I'd like Isaac close to the goal, but here's Trippier once more. He's running across himself, and that is straight at Alisson in goal. Now Tsimikas from the corner, off the woodwork again. We have been absolutely peppered here. We've got yellow cards galore, and there is the first red. This is not a good day at the office for us. We are in all kinds of trouble. Well, we're going to keep just sort of as we are for now. I might need to drop to counter in the second half. Let's see what happens here. Ball's come for Almiron. He plays it over, Saint-Maximin. You only need one good ball and you can have an opportunity, a player in behind. So we've got the right kind of players to do that, but we're in trouble here because Salah's got the ball. He's got 3 in the box to aim for. He pulls it back, and Jota there took him a couple of bites of the cherry, but he has indeed made it 3-0, and we are in a lot of trouble. This could be pretty embarrassing in the end. Liverpool absolutely making a statement here. Ball across. Oh, and that's even worse because Pope dropped the ball. That was into Pope's arms, and he just let it fall to Jota's feet. And now we're 3-0 down with 10 men. I mean, there's not a lot I can say here. Nothing's going to turn this around. Down to 10 men and 3-0 down at half-time. That is game over. Virgil van Dijk now. Out to Matip. Finds Salah. Lazari back in. We managed to get this away to Almiron. But we've got no outlet here. And Diaz in behind. Pope with the save. this is really not going to be pretty watching the second half. Almiron forward to Isaac, but Virgil van Dijk has it now. Curtis Jones plays it out. Salah plays it in, and Jota's done it. I think that's his hat-trick, isn't it? Yeah, hat-trick for Diogo Jota. 4-0 to Liverpool. And this is what you get when you say, oh, that Liverpool team doesn't look too strong. You massively underestimate their ability to get a result. And look at that. Jota, beautiful, beautiful movement. He created the gap for himself, and all he had to do was just hit it goalwards, and it'd go between the keeper and the defender on the post. And that is now 4-0. So the goal difference we built up from that United game quickly being used here. That spare capital. But here's Soumare, and he's got St. Maximum in a bit of space. He has got Isaac in there. It's over to Soumare, and what a goal that is. Soumare there. It's a shame that his first goal for Newcastle is coming in such a lost cause. But it's a sensational goal. St. Maximin there pulled it across. He had loads of space, Soumare, got onto it, and then on the volley into the cross side of the goal. Absolutely sensational stuff. So at least there's something for the Newcastle fans to cheer today. 4-1 though it remains. We're going to need a couple more like that to get out of this game. Trippier in, Botman's there. It's come for Tsimikas, and he's one-on-one with Target. He's pretty tired. I think we better take Target off before he gets sent off. Might do the same with Bruno as well. Possibly bringing on Sean Longstaff as Darwin Núñez scores. And that's the classic assist from Alisson there, just straight over the top. And Darwin Núñez does get the goal. He's on for Jota. Oh no, Jota's out wide. But look at that, beautiful touch. Second one, Pope flung himself far too early. And it's now 5-1 to Liverpool as we make the changes. And this is just not a good day out, really. Let's get Botman off as well. He's pretty tired. Bring Gabia on and get Isaac off if we can. Maybe give Moukoko his debut. He's not going to love coming on in a game like this as Jota there just puts it wide. Can we keep it 5-1? How much worse is this going to get for us? 10 minutes left to go. Kanate over to Matip. Moukoko trying to make a name for himself in his debut, but instead Darwin Núñez getting in behind. Stopped by Pope. Now James Milner from the corner swings it in. And that one just goes high and wide. 10 minutes left to see out. What can we do? Pope to Gabia. Now Shah to Longstaff. He's given it away. Darwin to Salah. Now Darwin saved by Pope. Salah hasn't scored today. I guess that's something. He's got 2 assists, but he's not got a goal. That's pretty nice. Now Salah puts the ball in, cleared away. Longstaff has it, and he's got Moukoko making a run. St. Maximin's got space down the left flank. He's taken it to the byline, and that was not far away. Alisson had to push that one out, and Robertson ultimately got the ball out, and Darwin's just run that ball out of play. But that should be the full-time whistle, and there it goes. 5-1 defeat, our first defeat of the season. Yeah, I just think, oh no, that was the worst thing to say. Hopefully that doesn't cause a problem in the team, but 5-0 defeat, 5-1 defeat, sorry. And that's now a 1 point gap. I mean, if you'd offered me this at the start of the season, I'd have ripped your arm off to be 1 point clear of Liverpool with 50 points. I mean, we're off for a 100-point season if we do that again in the second half. And Callum Wilson wants to withdraw his transfer request. That's good. But yeah, that's not really gone very well for us. So let's have a look at what we've got coming up. So up next, we've got Millwall in the FA Cup, Spurs at home, Brighton away, and Aston Villa at home. I think I might just play through to the Man City game up next. I mean, I wonder actually if we watch a game before that, because that City-Liverpool double-header could be quite exciting. So why don't we play through till then and see how we're getting on, and then maybe pick up a game before the end of this episode. Well, the Liverpool game seems to have set us on a particularly downward trend, because the very next match against Millwall, even though it was at home, we did lose 2-1. I tried to make some changes late on, and despite Garang Kuol getting a goal on his debut, it wasn't enough, and we still managed to lose the game 2-1. A pretty poor outcome, which led to the board summoning me to speak to them because I had failed to meet our objective of reaching the latter stages of the FA Cup in pretty miserable circumstances. That 2-1 defeat, just not good enough. The board let me go on, even though there was an option there for me to resign, which would have seemed a little bit crazy given we're top of the table. But we are being allowed to continue, but maybe on very thin ice. And that means the game against Spurs today must be an attempt to stop the rot. We're going to change things up a little bit after a couple of back-to-back defeats. Luckily, we now have Eric Garcia available to us. He's completed his transfer for 25 million, as has Brereton Diaz. He's also joined, actually unregistered at the moment, so maybe I should quickly fix that, because otherwise that could be a problem. There we go, I think he should be in there now, yes. And then let's get him maybe in the first team. I didn't pick him because he wasn't an option when I was switching players around, but I assume that he's probably better than Granqual. Although no, apparently not. Granqual seems like a pretty decent player. Maybe bring him in for Jacob Murphy. He we do not need. And then other than that, we're going to start a pretty ordinary 11. Some changes in there, but not too much. We're just hoping to get a win here. It's going to be tricky. We've got new players coming into the squad. That always causes a little bit of uncertainty. But overall, we should be able to beat this Tottenham team. Perisic with a free kick here. Plays it short to Romero. This is a very strong Spurs side. Tanganga playing on the right. Tries to go around target. Pulls it back. Basuma to Tanganga. And Heung-min Son has scored for Spurs. And we're a goal down inside 7 minutes. That's not an ideal outcome for us. Tanganga out on the right there. Just had Target on toast. Target's really dropped down in performance in the last few weeks. Ball came in, skip shot blocked. But then Son, I think that actually came off Trippier as he went in there. Maybe not a clean shot, but a little bit disappointing to go down. I mean, one of the good things about going out of both of the cup competitions is we can focus on this league title push. And I don't think the board will mind the cup competitions much if we end up winning the league. But at the moment, we're about to surrender our lead to Liverpool. Isaac here plays it back to Bruno, and there's Joe Linton. An excellent finish from Joe Linton. Nice, simple passing move from the throw-in, and we have managed to get back level. Trippier to Isaac, played it across. Bruno with a beautiful run. They're so dangerous, those runs across. And there's Joe Linton. It was actually palmed by Lloris, but palmed into the back of the net. But we do take that, and we are now back on level terms. Quite an even, cagey game so far. Son with a free kick. It's cleared away. Qual further on. Isaac tries to head it over, but Tanganga is back there. Dyer to Romero, plays it all the way back to Lloris. Joe Linton trying to run at him, and it's got him behind here for Son, and then Kane. And the old combo added again. Son setting up Kane for the finish, and it is 2-1 to Spurs. That ball over the top from Lloris, so irritating, because it looked like we might close him down. I don't know how that wasn't offside. I think that was Target playing him onside, and Kane had taken up an excellent position. We were absolutely all over the place there. That's that ball in behind with the high defensive line that we play, causing us all sorts of trouble, and we're in a dangerous little spot now, 2-1 down. It looks like our shooting maybe not quite where it needs to be. Isaac seems to be a little bit off the boil the last few games, so I mean, he's been such a big player for us. Hopefully he can rediscover that form, ideally in this game, because 3 defeats on the bounce can really destroy morale. Here's Botman over to Garcia. Plays it out wide to Qual, puts it across, and Tanganga has it. Lloris away. Target there, takes it down. Now Botman. Ball switched to the right flank. Trippier pushing down the line, forced to go back. He's got it now, though, in an advanced position. He's got 2 in the box, more arriving. It's looking for Qual. Comes down to Isaac. Bruno off the post and in, but is there a flag up here? VAR seems to be having a look at this one. Oh no, they've just given the goal. There's no VAR check. That's just gone straight in. That was very confusing the way that was reported. But Isaac laid it off, and Bruno there with the shot off the upright and into the back of the net. 2-2. Just like that. That looked like it was a offside, but Pochettino praising his team. And yes, Mauricio Pochettino is back at Tottenham. I don't know why they're suggesting I take Bruno off. He's not looking too bad. If I'm going to take anybody off, it's Qual. And we'll give Brereton Diaz a bit of game time. Skip here. Now Basuma, Kulusevski. Let's come to Ali. That's not Dele Alli, if you're wondering. Ball pulled back to Tanganga, and it's just gone wide. Luckily for us, I think we also need to get Matt Target off for Dan Burn, maybe Sumare in that defensive midfield position for Sean Longstaff. But here's Target over the top. He's looking for Isaac, but it's been cut out. Ball played forward. Eric Garcia played it off to Botman. Now Sam Maximan. Into Joe Linton in a good place. Sumare to Sam Maximan, and he's put it over the bar. That was like half an open goal to aim at, and he's lashed it over the top. We're into the last 10 minutes now. Is there time for us? Sessegnon on the attack. Trippier. Brereton Diaz looking to play it forward to Sam Maximan. It's come out to Dan Burn. Now Sam Maximan turns, plays it in, and it's stopped by Lloris. Good looping header there from Bruno, but wasn't strong enough to beat Lloris in goal, and he was able to pull it out to Sky. Here's Trippier. They've taken off Harry Kane, which is bold. Sam Maximan loses it to Tanganga, just as Burn had made the advanced run. They're not quite able to move this enough, but they have just then. They turned it on. It looked like they were being held. They weren't moving it quick enough. We got our players back, and yet they still absolutely cut us apart. Kulusevski drew 2 players into him. We put 2 players onto Bentancur, and then we didn't have players to double up on those left over. All they had to do was move the ball over, which they did, and Heung-min Son is a lethal finisher with that sort of opportunity. And even though I would say, for the most part, we've been a slightly better team in this game, I think Tottenham will feel they deserved that one. And it is very, very disappointing to lose that game. That's 3 on the bounce we've now lost. We'll have to see if Liverpool win their game in hand, but you can only assume that they will, given the points tally that they have so far. And we really need an easier match to try and just rediscover our form, because this is just not going well at this point. Let's see if this Liverpool game turns into a victory. They're against Fulham, and yeah, 3-0 to Liverpool. Fulham getting a man sent off after 15 minutes, and we are now 2 points off the top of the table. Still well clear of the challengers behind us, but 2 points behind Liverpool, not a great place to be. However, we've got an opportunity coming up. We have Brighton and Villa to rediscover our form, then City away, Liverpool at home. That's going to be a crazy little double header there. And then we've got a pretty good run into the end of the season, so we won't need to spend too much time and too many videos on these. We'll try and run through them quite quickly. But if you have enjoyed this episode, despite the defeats, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And until next time, see ya.